Okay, so what is a compact layout? There are different types of layouts that are available in Salesforce. This is basically to improve the productivity and also to make sure that the customer service representative does not have to navigate through multiple screens when he or she is talking to the customer. Okay, so here I'm going to go. And you come to the page, and I'm going to the accounts tab, clicking on a record. Now, I'm sorry, I'll go to the opportunities, and I click on the opportunity. I'm there on the detail page, and you go to the account name, right? And what you see is it opens up, it pops up this window, right? This is basically the compact layout. So the compact layout is basically this is the default one we will see. So it will show you some of the key important fields so that the user can be able to easily navigate through. So where do you see this? You go to the home and you go to the object manager, and I think it is account, and you go to the compact layout. Now in the compact layout, you see that this is the system default. That is what it is using. Now, if you want to change it, you can create new. I have already created, and so we will edit it. I created a new one. So you give the label, you give the name, and what are all the fields. Whatever is the fields that are available in the account object, they all will come here. You select which are all the fields. I have selected 3 of them, and I created custom compact thing, and I want to assign it. I want to make it as a default. So you click on edit assignment. Instead of system default, you come to the custom compact and you save it. Right? You save it, and now it shows that the compact layout is custom compact layout. You come to the same detail page, and if you take a look at it, on the top you see only the account number and the annual revenue, right? And that is what you have done, account number and the annual revenue. Doesn't account name is already there on the top, so that is account name is already there. So that's the reason why it's showing only the account number and then the annual revenue. Does it make sense, guys? What is a compact layout? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is one of the important things. This is basically to improve the productivity of the customer service representative. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the next one that what we are going to be talking about is the search layout. So the search layout is okay. Here, if you take a look at it, I'm going to put. I'm coming to the global search, and I'm okay. So once you put values there, you click on it, it shows different objects layouts, right? If you take a look at it, it shows that this BUR, this is a global search. It's available on right? Burlington, and you have account name, account site, phone number, blah, 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 and all that stuff. Okay. So now you come here, you see here something called search layout. Now, if you take a look at it, account name, account site, phone, account owner, interest, and active, right? So account name, account site, phone, alias, interest, and active. These are the values that it is showing. This is the search layout. Okay. Now you come to this one here. This is another layout. This is also one of the search layouts. We'll see whether we can be able to modify this or not. First, we'll play with this one. Okay. So you go to the search layout and you edit it. Say that I want to add fax number. Okay. And you save it. So you added fax number. And the fax number is added. Okay. Okay. So the compact layout, what we have changed, right, is shown here. Are you able to see this? This is also compact layout thing that comes from here. Okay. Last, we have changed it. You saw that one, right? We had done that compact layout thing. Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes.
Right. So
Yes, sir.
either you come from the opportunity and then the related object, where you will see the compact layout, and you go to the record of that account itself, you will see the compact layout. Okay. So very important thing, how the search layout and then the compact layouts, they are all working, and how you can be able to modify them. Okay. So when you come to the object manager, there are so many things that what you have, right? We have seen what is field and the relationships, right? We have seen what is page layout. We will see whether we can, so lightning record pages, right? This is your record page, what you have when you go to the customization of the record pages. Which one account record page, if you take a look at it, like, which one is the record page that it is going to show, that is done by the lightning record pages here, right? And then the button and the links, what sort of buttons and links that you can be able to put it on this object. That is what this one says. So the edit button is a standard button that is available. Delete button, right? Some of them are available. We'll see whether we can give an example on that. We saw the compact layout, and then the field sets is basically used in the Visualforce when you want to group certain number of fields and then retrieve the data and put it there. Object limits is basically to show how you are using it. We will talk about the record type in a bit. Then we have something called a related lookup filter. Whenever there is a filter like lookup filter, then you click on the related lookup filter, you can see that it is already there, right? Field label, transaction, and the opportunity. Now you can click on it and it will show you what account name is owner ID equals to the user ID. It will show you. If you have lookup filter that what you have created, it will show you under the related lookup. Restriction rules is one of the new things that I have not used it. It is one of the things you can take a look at it. We sharing settings. We use the sharing settings and then the sharing rules, like the role hierarchy sharing rules. This is the OWD and this is the sharing rules and all. And you filter the records. And if you want to filter even more granular than this, then you go to the restriction rule. This is the new thing that has been introduced, and it's being used. I have not used it. So take a look at it so that you get the filter records. Triggers, or again, when you are writing a program, if there are triggers, like, you want to write a trigger or something like that, you click new, and then you go there, you start writing the trigger, correct? This is when you do the Apex programming, okay? Flow triggers is nothing but flows, which we will cover. If you have written any triggers on object, account object or something like that, so these triggers will come in. Where do we see this? So you can, so we'll cover that as part of automation, and the entry of that will appear here. So the flow, right? If we take the flows, click on it. So you can see that there are so many flows that are there, which have been created. And if the object is one of those objects, then you will see the flow triggers. You can come from there. Okay. So close this. So yeah, you can see on the account object, there are so many of them, right? Have been created, and that's what it shows. These are all the ones. So you click on this Techila training, which we will do it, and it will go to the flow trigger, right? So that's about the flow trigger part of it. Then we have seen what is a validation rule, and we have worked on. Any questions so far, please?
No, sir, everything's fine.
Everything is okay. Okay. So now we will just touch upon, before we go there. Let's go to our object, Techila training new. And field and relationships, right? And what we can do, what we have is set history tracking, right? So click on it, and once you click on history tracking, right? I want to set the history tracking. Before that, before you do this, details, you need to enable the track filter history tracking. So edit it. You need to say track field history, right? So you want to track the field history of this object, and save. So once you do that, that means you can be able to track the field history of the fields. What is the reason? Whenever there is some critical information on an object, and we want to know who is changing what, so that we have the audit trail available, right? And then thus we can be able to monitor how frequently it is getting changed, who is changing it, because that is the critical information that what we have, right? And you go to, so track field history is done, and then you go to the field and history, and let us set the history tracking on. And let's say that the training location, I want to track that, and save it. Okay. Now so this is on the Techila training new. I need to go to the page layout. Then I go to the related list. Related list, approval history, Techila training, Techila training new. One second. Manu, can you stop for a second, please? The recording. Okay, so that is on the field history thing. And what we will do is, there is another thing that is very, very important. The concept is called the record type. So, I want you guys to think and answer the question. How many, for example, if I want to see the Techila training new, for a profile, how many page layouts can I assign? There is only one that you can assign.
One.
Only one, right? But there can be a business scenario, right, where depending upon the profile that one belongs to, you want to show the page layout in a different format for different users, right? What it means is everybody belongs to the same profile. Everybody belongs to the same profile, but what happens is, depending upon the option that what you select, when you come to the page layout, it will show a different page layout, right? This is basically record type is used for when you have different sales processes, like within an organization, and you choose the sales process A, it will show the same page layout in a different format, and sales process B will show a different format altogether, right? That is one thing. And what are all the things that what you can show differently is the text fields that are there, the layout that is there, as long as they are not mandatory, you can be able to show things differently. We will see the example, and also the pick list value, corresponding pick list value also will be different depending upon the business process that you are going to be choosing. Okay, so very important concept, very powerful concept that has been introduced by Salesforce, and we will see how that can be done. Okay, so I'm going to take a different example altogether, right? So that follow me through. That way it will be easy. And this is for the record type. Okay, give me a second, please. So the record type, when we go and take a look at it for against a profile, the record type will show multiple page layouts that are available, and you can be able to choose which page layout you want to select. Okay, so I'm just looking for example. Stop. What is OR? Can you stop the recording, please? So we will take one example, and please follow through this example, and we will show how the record type works. Okay, I'm going to create a new object called Techila training new. Okay, new class. Okay, Techila training new class. That's the object that I'm creating. And so I'm going to say that Techila training new class name. I'm going to leave it like that. And I don't need anything. I'm going to save this. New classes is the okay, and then I'm going to create few fields here, right? So the business scenario is like this. Okay, imagine you are capturing for an for a school which has got both elementary and middle school, and what you are doing is you are capturing the information of the student who are coming to the school, and the information that you are capturing is, if it is elementary school 1 to 7, then you are taking the student name, and then you are also asking who is dropping you to the school, right? That's the information that you are selecting, right? You want to know who drops the kids to the school. But if you are from 8th to 12th grade, then instead of asking who drops you to the school, you want to ask, how do you come to the school, right? Do you come by bicycle, or do you come by car, or do you come by, right, walking, or whatever the thing is. So when it is elementary school 1 to 7, you want to ask a different question. When it is middle school, then you want to ask a different question. This is the scenario. Are you with me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So first, let me create the object first, okay, and then the fields. So I'm going to create 3 fields. One, the pick list. This is the master pick list that it will have. So here, what I'm going to say is, which grade, right? And I'm going to say first grade, second grade, third grade, so I'm giving all the values. Up to 12. Or let me make it only up to 10. Okay. Now I have created the field label. I have created the pick list value, and that's about it. I'm going to say next. Right. And I'm going to make this one available to all the pages. Save and win. Okay. Now I'm going to create 2 text fields. So this is basically how do you come to school is the label, right? I will leave it as 30, and I will not make it as mandatory. I will just leave it. And so how do you come to school is one field. Then I will create another field which is the text, I'm going to ask who drops you to the school. Okay. And here also, I'm going to say 30 and next, and then save. Right? So I created 3 fields, and let me create a tab. So Techila training class, and I'm going to say globe. Next. So available to all. Save it. Okay. So till now, you guys are with me, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to go to the sales, and I'm refreshing the page. Yeah, new classes, right? So that has come. Now, this is very simple. What you see here, you will see which grade. It will show you all grades and Techila training class name, for example, new class name or new student name or whatever the thing is, right? And so I should have been named as new student name. Okay. Now, if you take a look at it, if I select the first grade, which field is important for the first grader? How do you come to school? Who drops you to the school is not relevant at all. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Up to 1st to 7th grade, the only field that what I want to see on the page is how do you come to school? Because they are young kids and the school wants to know how they come to school. But if you are from 8th to 10th grade, who drops you to the school or other way around? Okay. How do you come to school is 8th to 10th. Who drops you to the school is 1st to 7th. Does it make sense, guys? Right? Because
Yes. Yes, sir.
know who drops you to the school, whether it's father, mother, or whether you are maid or somebody, or do you take school bus or whatever the thing is, right? Now, if you give this screen to the end user, will get confused because 1st to 7th grades are like how I got confused, which field to be used to which grade will be very confusing. So you have 2 different business processes, one for the elementary school and one for the middle school. How do you do this? I want to show only the relevant information of the page on the page rather than all the information. So how do you do it? You go to the object manager. You go to Techila new class. This is the one, right? There is something called a record type. You click on the record type. Once you click on the record type, it opens up this, and what you do is you say new. Okay. So here, existing record type, you take the master. Master is nothing but you leave it as a master. Record label. So record label, you call it as 1 to 7 class. I'm just making record type label is 1 to 7 class. Elementary. Page. Okay, and make it active. Click next. Okay. Before creating the record type, I'm going to cancel out of this. Before you create the record type, you create two page layouts, right? So you have a page layout. You come here, you create a new page layout, right? Take the existing page layout of the Techila training new and call this one as 1 to 7 elementary page layout, right? This is the first step that you have to do. I'm sorry, right? So you do the first step and it takes you to the, because it has taken the base as the one that what we created. Now we are creating for 1 to 7 elementary school. We have to pick the relevant page text, whatever the label on the page. So what is the for the relevant one? How do you come to school? Who drops you to school is important, not how do you come to school. So I will take this one out and I will leave it, which grade you belong to, just leave it like that. And then what you do is you save this. So you created 1 to 7 elementary page layout. So first you create the entire page layout, then you create subset of that one. And again, I will come here and I will create a new page layout and I will take the master one and I will call this one as 8 to 10 high school page layout. Are you guys with me, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then here, who drops you to school is not important. So I'm going to take out that and I'm going to read how do you come to school and I'm going to save this. Okay. Now, once I do that, I create the record, then I go and I will create the record types. So it's going slow. I create the record type. Low system doesn't affect audio quality. Try to okay. Click new. Okay, and here I'm going to call 1 to 7 class, right? That is a record type name, and just leave all the other things the same. And then you come to next. For the 1 to 7 class, correct? Here, this is important. For 1 to 7 class record type, I want to choose 1 to 7 elementary page layout, right? For all the profiles. So I've chosen 1 to 7 elementary and I will say save new. I will create another record type. Again, I will take the master and here I will take 8 to 12 high school and make it available, make it active, click next. And I will select 8 to 10 page layout and save it. Okay. Now you come to the record type 1 to 7 class. You will see that there is something called pick list values available. You edit it And all the selected values you want to see only up to 7. So I will take out 8, 9, and 10. Correct? And I will not say default is none, and I'm going to save. Okay. Now that is for the record type 1 to 7, right? Now I will do the same thing, 8 to 12 high school. I come here. Now this time I will take out all these values. Does it make sense, guys? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what did we do? We created first the page layout, and we took out the field that is not needed, and we created 2 page layouts, and then we created something called a record type, and we created 2 record types, 1, 7 and 8, 12, and then we modified the pick list values. Okay. Now let's go. If which one is the new classes, right? New classes is already there. And you click on new. So you see here now, right? It gives you 2 options. So normally when you click on any page, it does not give you any option at all, correct? Now it says select a record type 1 to 7. You click next. You can see that the main page has got who drops you to school and how do you come to school. It does not show how do you come to school because that is not relevant here. And the pick list value it shows is 1 to 7. Does it make sense? Right? So if you go here, say for example, Nikhil, he is in 1st grade. Who drops you to school? Mom drops me to the school. Save it. Correct? Now you go to the new classes, and I will change the layout. Yeah, it does not show. Let's see. Now you can see that whenever it is 1 to 7, who drops you to the school is the only field that will be. Now I'm going to create a new, and I'm going to take 8 to 12. Click next. Now here it will show 8 to 12. So I will say 9th grade. Varsha. Right? So now if you go back and take a look at it, no. Now if you take a look at it, if it is 8 to 12, you will see how do you come to school. If it is 1 to 7 class, it will show you who drops you to the school. But what we have created is we created a single page, but we divided that single page into 2, one for the elementary school and one for the middle school. And we also changed the pick list values, relevant pick list value for each one of them. Thus, what it shows is relevant information when you are trying to create a new record. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
What is known as the record type, and this way you don't have to create. They all belong to the same profile, right? Because I belong to the same profile, system administrator profile, but depending upon the option that I choose, it shows the relevant information on the page. So now, if you go to the setup, and you look at the profile, and you look at the system administrator, and then you go to the page layouts, custom object page layouts, Techila training new. See here, Techila training new, view, correct? And you click on the view. Techila, not Techila training. Yeah, Techila train. See the difference here. You are able to see. See, for all the other objects, custom objects, it simply says the layout that is there. But whereas when you create a record type, I'm highlighting this, it will say varies by the record type. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? So if you come to the profile and if you take a look at it, whereas here, if you take a look at it, it gives you that this is the single page that is already there. But whereas when you come to the Techila training new class, it varies by record type. And if you click on view assignment, it will go to a different page altogether. Here you can see how it is. So the master record type, the master is what we created first. That is the master. And for 1 to 7 class, this is the page layout that it will display for all these profiles. And for 8 to 12 high school thing, this is the page layout that it will display for all these profiles. Does it make sense, guys? Remember this, and I will show you another example. It will look little different so that you understand it better. So the same, I'm going to go to the profile. I'm going to go to the system administrator. And I'm scrolling down. Instead of varies by record type, I'm opening up this. I'm opening up view assignment. I'm sorry. Now, if you take a look at it, this page looks different than this page. Does it make sense? Because you have the record type, it added these 2 columns. Whereas here, there is only single page layout. That's why it is showing. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? So, very important thing. And there will be questions on this record type things where they will say that, can you be able to, does it make security thing like secured? You can be able to access the data or you can be able to control the data and all. No, record type does not work on the security thing, right? It is only for the business process, that when you have 2 different business processes and you want to see for business process A, page in a different way compared to business process B, the page in a different way. That is how it works. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's